How quickly is time moving, eh? Like, already the patch notes for 13.3 have been released. And guys, we're going to go through them in this video. So if you want to know the champions that are getting changed, the items that are getting changed, the runes, all of that stuff, and specifically what the changes are, we're going to detail them all for you in the next 10 or so minutes. So make sure you stick around for the whole video. And guys, if you are enjoying our Season 13 content, make sure you leave a like down below. And if you do want to take your game to the next level, if you actually want to peak on the Rift and become the best player you can be, I'd highly encourage you guys to check out the GameLeap.com website. Linked in the description, comment section, our challenger players and coaches daily uploads. That's what we're doing. We are uploading daily content for our thousands of subscribers. So join the club and get that exclusive access to our library of content by signing up, and let's get into the changes. So we're going to talk about the champion buffs for 13.3. First of all, we have Kale. The passive movement speed is going up 2%. Your E's on hit damage ratio is also going up from 0.2 to 0.25. And the E missing health active is going up, well, once you've got more points in your E, from 8 to 10% to 8 to 12%. And these are really nice buffs for Kale. This champion has not really seen any action, especially in the mid lane since her magic resist got nerfed heaps, but this should definitely encourage players to start picking this champion a little bit more. Honestly, these are probably like more mid to late game buffs than anything, right? But still, they will help you a little bit get through the laning phase and hopefully get to that point. Now, moving into the jungle here, we have 3 champions to talk about, the first of these being Lee Sin. Your Q's bonus AD ratio is going up, so again, the more bonus AD you have from items, the more damage you're going to deal. Also, your E now scales off a total AD ratio, not a bonus. Now, it's going to be the same damage at level 1, but actually more damage afterwards. Also, your E's slow is going to slow enemy champions for more when you have more points in it. So it's going from 20 to 60% of a slow to 20% to 80%. These are obviously nice buffs for Lee Sin. Now moving on, we have Kayn. So a rider doing they are buffing Shadow Assassin Kayn. So your actual passive, the extra damage you get from it, is going from 13 to 40% to 15 to 45% based on your level. This is big and it really helps your mid to late game, of course, and one-shotting people. Now, your non-RAS Q damage. So pretty much for base Kayn and Shadow Assassin Kayn, the damage is actually going down, the base damage by 5, but it's scaling more of your bonus attack damage from 65% to 80%. This is huge. Like the more AD you get, and of course your building attack damage as Shadow Assassin Kayn, you will be one-shotting everyone. Just keep in mind here that Red Kayn is exactly the same. Now the last jungler to talk about as far as buffs go, we have Trundle. And this is honestly the biggest buff of the patch because your dancer mode now scales with movement speed. So as you're getting more movement speed, the dancer mode, the animation is just going to be quicker. That's big, right? It's not, it doesn't do anything, right? It's just trolling us, but it's kind of funny. And also guys, your W's cooldown, so where you're getting a bit of attack speed and movement speed from the terrain, this is going down by 2 seconds at all times. So a nice little buff for Trundle. Moving to the mid lane, LeBlanc. Mana per 5 seconds from 6 to 8. Your mana regen growth is going from 0.8 to 1, and also your Q's mana is going down to a flat 50. From 50 to 70. Flat 50 now. Also, your ultimate's cooldown is decreasing at early ranks, 60 to 30 seconds to 50 to 30 seconds. So for LeBlanc, you're going to have more mana, because honestly, as LeBlanc, your big weakness is wave clearing, right? Like, you probably have to take minion dematerializer into a lot of matchups, because you can't match like a Syndra's wave clear or Victor's wave clear. It becomes really annoying, and you're actually just playing LeBlanc, right? To set up kills and assassinate champions, but you just can't do it at the moment. So these buffs, honestly, like, they look nice, and LeBlanc's win rate will definitely increase because of this. Now, the other champions getting buffed here, guys, we have all the support tank champions. So Alistair, Braum, Nautilus, and Pyke. Thresh and Rakan are getting neutral change, and I'd highly recommend you guys to check out Freak's video, but pretty much, yes, they're all just getting buffed. That's it. If we think about last patch as well, the Grievous wins buffs, right? So the anti-heal, it's going to 40%. I think everyone, can kind of agree here that we're just sick of seeing Nami, Lulu, Soraka, Sona all the time. We actually want to see some exciting stuff, and even in pro play right at the moment, it is legit just Lulu and Nami, rinse and repeat, maybe Yuumi in there as well. So these buffs, hopefully they bring these champions actually into the picture. Now moving on to champion nerfs, we have 4. Now we have Amumu. First of all, your Q's mana cost going up by 5 at each rank. This means that even if you're playing support Amumu along with jungle Amumu, your Q is just costing more mana, right? So your all-ins, you might run a little bit more. And as far as clearing the jungle, well, you're going to have jungle regen, right? The mana regen from the item. And you're also going to have blue buff most of the time. So not the biggest change in the world. I think this affects support Amumu more than anything, but still on paper, this is a nerf. Now, the bigger nerf is to your E. E damage is going down at rank 1 by 15, and then at rank 5, it's actually going up. So pretty much, once you get to level 9 or 5 points in your E, you get more damage. So in the early game, this is just a nerf, right? So as far as your clear speed goes, and your all-in, I guess, if you're playing support Amumu, it's going to be a little bit worse off. So your early clear, you won't be able to clear as quick, so you won't be ganking as soon in a game, but still, your scaling is going to be there, right? So if you're going something like Jackshow Amumu, so honestly, not too bad. Now, moving on to the mid lane, we have Kassadin. Oh my goodness, well done, Riot, for nerfing this champion again, and the nerfs are as follows. Your E cooldown refresh is going from 1 second to 0.75, so when the enemy champions are using their abilities, your cooldown refresh, it's not going to come up as much for your E. This should be impactful. Also, your E's damage is getting nerfed by 20 in the early game, so at rank 1, but it's still scaling to the same amount, 180, when you have 5 points in it. You're probably from this still going to max your E first, but I think this is actually like hitting Cassidy where he needs to be hit. Also, your ultimate's damage, this is getting nerfed by 10 at every stage of the game. And the stacking is also nerfed because of this. So Cassidy, is he still going to have a monster win rate? Well, he's still going to have Rod of Ages and Seros Embrace. Unfortunately, these items, well, they're staying the same. So other champions, yeah, if you're building them, you're going to be unaffected. But I just think he's in such a strong position anyway, he will still be picked. Now, moving on, we have Zac. And Zac in the mid lane has really just like, well, become popular, I guess. Cass played it in a pro game, but also you're seeing a lot more of it in solo queue. So your W's AP ratio, where you're getting 4% for each 100 AP you have, this is going to 3%, affecting your scaling, right? Also, your E's damage is getting nerfed, the base damage, the more points you have in it. So it's going from 60 to 260 to 60 to 240. And also the AP ratio, which was 90%, is going to be 80%. So just less damage in your W and your E. I think these are good changes to Zac, and it's just encouraging you to play Zac probably how he's meant to be played. You know, as like an AP bruiser or just like a pure tank. So I think these changes are pretty healthy. Now, the final champion getting nerfed is Cassante, and a bit like Cassidy, this champion just has to be nerfed. Like I even called it in one of our recent videos. So what's happening? Your Q's knockup duration is going down by 0.35 seconds. This means the enemy champion is going to have a lot more time to, well, just like not be CC'd and damaged by you, okay? And also your W's minimum stun duration, this is going down by 0.05 at rank 1 all the way to 0.25 at rank 5. This is also like kind of a legit nerf. And the last nerf, which could be the biggest one, when you get those bonus resistances, or they get reduced, I should say, when you pop your ultimate, they are getting reduced by 85% now. This is really important because if you think about like the Jack Show changes, right? If you're going Jack Show Cassante, you get so much armor and magic resist now from that item. Well, this is just a nerf maybe towards that and the champion himself. So these nerfs are big, but will they be enough? Honestly, the champion will still be innately broken, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. Now, system buffs. Overheal is getting buffed, and it's getting buffed after level 5. So what Rada doing, instead of going from 10 in terms of like the base shield to 9% based on your max HP, it's going to 20 to just 300 based on level. This is good because scaling off max HP for an AD carry, like you're not really building HP. So yeah, I just think having a standard like base number, it just looks nice as well to read on paper. So this definitely becomes more viable for your AD carries. They'll also hit the system nerfs, early jungle ganks. So the actual experience you're getting from large monsters. So this is Wolfcamp, Gromp, and then you have Raptors and Krugs. This is not including blue and red buff. Those are epic monsters, but for large monsters, those ones, yes, you're actually getting more experience from them now. So this is just encouraging you to clear your camps rather than just spam gank. I'm talking to all you Elise mains here. Now, also we have Stealth Ward Trinket, so this is getting actual buffed. So the cooldown in the early game is going from 240 seconds, in other words 4 minutes, to 3.5 minutes or 210 seconds. This means you can put more wards down to protect yourself from those early jungle ganks. And we also have a tower damage buff, guys, so in the early game it's going up by 20 damage, and it is also scaling in the late game, well, at 14 minutes anyway, to an extra 6 damage, from 344 to 350. So you're going to have to be careful about just tower diving, and again, playing Elise, or maybe some sort of champion like this, right, where you just jump in like a Rek'Sai or Maokai maybe, you're going to have to think about this in 13.3. The other nerf, guys, to the system in League of Legends is the Umbral Glaive. So it's just an item. The cooldown on the actual like passive where you're clearing wards going up to 50 seconds, so less vision control. Also, the range damage you're dealing towards, so if you're playing like an Ashe or a Graves and getting Umbral Glaive early on, Caitlyn or Kalista, you know, we've seen these recently as well, it's going down from 3 to 2. So you're not just going to one-shot the standard trinket wards, and also traps, you're no longer going to insta-kill them. So whether it's like a Jhin trap, Nidalee trap, something like this, you're not going to kill them straight away. Now, system adjustments. We have two things to talk about here, one of them being Radiant Virtue. So this item, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but lots of like bruisers and fighters are making use of it. Even Maokai with Demonic Embrace can build it. So it's kind of getting abused by champions who it's not really like intended for. So if we think about support tanks, who we talked about earlier, how they're getting buffed, that's really who the item is for, right? So the changes are as follows. The cost is going up 200 gold to 3,200 total. The cooldown is going up to 90 seconds. Doesn't mean too much because you're probably using your ultimate every 90 seconds anyway. The max HP you're getting though is going up to 15% from 10%. Again, encouraging tanks to build the item. And the healing you're getting is going up to 12% from 8% based off your max HP. So if you are building HP in your kit, right, from other items, this is going to benefit you a lot. Now, what's also happening, the ability haste aura is getting removed that your allies get, and the healing no longer scales with missing health. Okay, so those are the big changes to Radiant Virtue. And the last one, guys, is Tenacity. So pretty much it just says here that most sources will now stack multiplicatively together, and it's a general nerf to Tenacity stacking. So even though the balance team have clarified that it's a general nerf, it's still been put in the adjustment section, but those guys were the changes for 13.3. Let me know in the comment section what you think, any thoughts you might have, and until tomorrow's video where I will give you a tier list based on these changes, hit that subscribe button, and until then, yes, this has been EZCHALLENGER. Peace.